Hello guys, to the final part of the videos of this week. Before I forget, I want to mention about the previous assignment. I didn't mention that it could be collective. So hopefully you already know how is the mechanics of this. You're going to be able to work in groups of 4 people maximum. Again, if you want to work in 3, 2, or individually, you can also do it. It's up to you. Um, and as you're reading about a particular book, so you select one of the books in order to complete the items of the first one. And if you prefer, you can select the second book for the points. Yes, this assignment number 1 has 2 parts, so you can select one book for the first, one book for the second, or if you think that with a single book you can do both activities, that will be just fine. Okay, so remember, maximum 4 people for that assignment, and 1 or 2 books. Okay, well, so let's finish this week with something related to the metaphorical or musical effects. Remember that we're talking about the how, no, the form. We already talked about puns. We already talked about this 4-love poem. So we will see that there are some metaphorical or musical effects that we can also find in this text that can be interesting for students, or that may be somehow an instrument for them to understand a little bit more clearly certain parts. Because if we're talking about metaphors, we're talking about comparisons, and examples used with comparisons for sure are going to be somehow easier to get sometimes, right? And the same with the musical effect. The musical effect has to do with the rhythm, the cadence, somehow the musicality of certain texts have. This is much more common in poetry, right? Rhyming and the rhythm. But some, let's say, prose books or prose narratives, such as tales and novels, also have this component. Okay, so we can find this both in here. So let's take a look at some examples. The first one is by Shakespeare, and you can find it in Hamlet. That, as you can remember, is a play. Yes, it says, "The slings and arrows of outrageous fortune." The slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. So I don't know if you're familiarized with what is a sling. Yes, a sling is a weapon that is normally composed by a string, like a leash, with a little, normally leather, let's say, pocket or bag in one extreme, in one end, and you put over there a stone. So you rotate that and eventually throw it away, and the stone goes out with very high speed, and the idea is that your enemy somehow is hit by that stone, or by that projectile, with injuring results, right? That is what David used to kill the giant, no? Goliath, I think it's Goliath. Yes, Goliath. So that's a sling. Yeah, you know what is an arrow? That is also a projectile that is shot from a bow. And well, outrageous means bad and lucky and fortunate, say displeasing, not good, negative, right? So it says, "The slings," like these stones, "and arrows of outrageous fortune." Yeah, what does it mean? That fortune is hitting you, or shooting you with all these darts, right? So who is fortune, or what is fortune? Well, luck. No, you either have good luck or bad luck, and in this case the person is having definitely bad luck. Yes, because he's being hit, he's being attacked or stinged with slings and arrows, and that means that the fortune is outrageous. It means that he's having bad luck, right? So if you take a look at the fancy explanation that it's over there. It says analogy between being attacked by weapons and being pursued by considerable misfortune. Right? It's basically what I mentioned in just fancier words. Then, that was a metaphorical or comparative effect, right? Let's take a look at the other one, yeah? And this has to do a little bit more with the musicality, with the effect, with the intonation, right? So this sentence says, seasons of mists and mellow fruitfulness. Let's say that the difficulty of the a little bit cacophonic expression demands that you have to pronounce it slowly, right? I'll do my best to read it very quickly. Seasons of mist and mellow fruit. I can, right? Again, seasons of mist and mellow fruitfulness. Maybe, okay, but it was not really designed to be read in that way. It says seasons of mists and mellow fruitfulness. What does it mean? That we're talking about a particular season of the year, right, in which there are mists, so this foggy weather, and mellow. Mellow means something good, positive, nice, pleasant to my perception, different sensorial terms, right? Something mellow pleases me visually, mentally, to the touch, to the taste. There are like different levels, right? And fruitfulness, it means something related. I mean, if we speak it like literally, it refers to the time in which we are able to find some fruit in the trees, right? Or if we speak it in a way that is a little bit more figuratively, something fruitful is, let's say, some sort of prize or reward that you have after having hard work, or something fruitful is simply somehow something successful, right? That you were, I don't know, you were trying to get a job, you had a job interview that was fruitful, so it means that you got a job. You had an academic exam that was fruitful. Well, it means that you got a 5, you got a 4.8, or a very good grade. An academic career that was fruitful. Well, probably that you were able to write different articles, that you were able to be noticeable and have some sort of notoriety in the academic world. Well, you see, success. Well, beyond the meaning itself, remember that we're focusing on the way it is written, seasons of mists and mellow fruitfulness, right? So this is by John Keats. It's a really important poem, very well known, very well known. And this is from a poem called Ode to Autumn, like a homage, a tribute to autumn, right? And that is why it has this slow and let's say full movement in the line, in the verse, right? I don't know if you are able to see that. Of course, let's say that it is easier to get it when you are used to read poetry, and in that way, like, you can recognize in an easier way these sort of devices. Nevertheless, well, this is the example that I could give you. Hopefully, is somehow clear for you. When we have a lot of rhyming words, yes, or alliterative words, yes, meaning that there are words that starts with the same letter, yes, that also may happen, right? And that is exactly what we're going to see next. These metaphorical or musical effects, we can see them in advertisement also, for example, right? So for the ones of you who took this course forms with me, yes, like formas discursivas, we have like a complete module of the subject in which we studied figures of speech, and I bring some of these examples also as well. Some of you may remember that. If it's like the first time you see this, well, take a look at it. Yes, this is like a slogan in the slide number 34, and it says, "Drink a pint of milk a day, go to work on an egg." This is a British advertising campaign, and you see it has some musicality. Drink a pint of milk, yeah. Actually, if you let's say that this is somehow informal language that people use in certain parts of England and of Britain, and it has some musicality, right? If you transform it into formal English, it would be drink a pint. A pint is like a unit, no? Let's say normally if you ask for a pint of beer, you will be given something like this. Yeah, drink a pint of milk a day, meaning every day. So basically, they are telling you drink a glass of milk a day, every day. Go to work on an egg, right? It doesn't mean that you have to ride an egg or that there is a car that it's like an egg. No, nothing like that. It is that you should eat or have an egg for breakfast before going to work, right? So a pretty catchy message. It's very musical, and you tend to repeat it very easily. Drink a pint of milk a day, go to work on an egg. Let's say that the catchy tunes of advertising are something really sort of common and popular, no? I guess that you have not been exempt to be a victim of advertisement, and you get this annoying little song of a particular commercial, TV commercial or radio commercial, and you get it stuck in your head the whole day, right? That's right, because it's musical and it's easy to remember, and if you listen to it a lot, you're going to remember it very easily. We have another one, such as say cheese and smile. Yes. So this is normally the advertisement of a cheese brand. Yes, there's a company that sells cheese and has this slogan, and it plays with the double meaning. Yes, remember that normally this is the word that is used in English before taking pictures, because saying it, cheese, make you smile. Yes, just like we say in Spanish, digan whiskey, cheese, right? So it's again the double meaning. It is enjoyable. It's something you would like to do. It's something you would like to eat, and it's something that will make you smile. Yeah, and well, let's say it's combining the nutritional value and the enjoyability of the thing. Talking about enjoying something, let's take a look at the slide 35. Yes, over there you will see some advertisements for cars, and it says enjoying or enjoying, right? I think that would be the pronunciation better. Enjoying. Of course, this is a combination between the word enjoy, that it's being satisfied with something, being happy about something, something that makes you feel pleasant, right, or pleasure, and the word engineering, that it's of course very important for cars. It's thanks to engineering that you have a great design of cars, that you have speed, that you have safety, that you have, let's say, certain comfortable gadgets such as reclined seats, or such as air conditioning, or airbags. Well, everything is thanks to engineering, right? So this is a combination between these two things, and it's basically to tell you in one single word that they're scientists, they're designers, they're workers, they're engineers, are working for you to make the experience of driving a car the most enjoyable possible experience, right? Again, single word combination. It's not really a word that exists in formal English, but you get the message, yes, and it gets stuck in your head, and you sort of get what is the idea that they're trying to say over here, right? So again, you see, we're talking about metaphorical because we're using a metaphor over here, but at the same time musical, because it's a word that you can remember fairly easily, and that you can just move on to understand. And finally, we have these things over here related to jokes, yeah. So again, they are pretty silly. I don't think you're going to find them funny at all, but they make good examples from what I'm trying to say over here. Remember, we're talking about metaphors, comparisons, analogies, and musicality, like the way in which you pronounce something, how it's going to somehow affect the perception. No? So here we have a joke that is basically a telephone joke. Somebody calling to a pizza place, and it says, "How long will be the pizza?" And the other person says, "We don't do long ones, sir, only round." Yeah, slide number 36, by the way. So metaphor, analogy, uses of puns or double meaning. Yes, how long will the pizza be? Yes, how long will the pizza be? Of course, the person is meaning about how long will it take in order to arrive to his place. Yes, like this is going to take 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. That is what he's asking. And then the person answers, "We don't do long ones, only round." Yes, so one person is talking about time and the other person is talking about shape. Yes, we don't do long ones, we do only the traditional round ones. Yes, so in this confusion between time versus shape is supposed to be located the humor. I don't know if you find it funny, but well, the point is over there. Then we have book jokes. Let's say the title of a book that it's supposed to be funny at some level because of the author. Yes, so we have the first one that it's called At the North Pole, and the author it's I.C. Blast. Yes, At the North Pole by I.C. Blast. So it seems to be initials I period C period Blast, but of course because of the pronunciation you can sort of equiparate that to icy, like something that is chilly, frozen, and blast, like an impact, no? So the name of the author versus the name of this fictional book that doesn't really exist will make you establish a relationship. Of course, makes sense that let's say somebody who is called Icy Blast write a book about being cold and being chilly and all that, right? Then we have the other one that it's called Jungle Fever, written by Amos Keto. Yes. One more time, jungle fever is normally produced by the sting of some animals, among them mosquitoes. Yes, and then we have this pun related to the word Amos, that is a name that actually exists, and then this sort of made up last name that may exist or not, that is Keto. But then the whole thing is a mosquito, written by A1 mosquito, right? And then we have the final one, that it's the unknown author, that is the name of the book, the unknown author, like the secret one, or the one that we don't know his name or her name. And this was written by a lady called Anne Anonymous. Yes, Anne, again, is a name that really exists, but this is a word game between the name of the lady and the last names. Anonymous, right? Somebody who didn't want to give away his name. So again, sorry for being so silly. Always like that. But hopefully these examples, silly as they were able to illustrate the point that it is the musicality in this case and the double meaning of these different ideas. Okay, so with this we're over. We're done for the week, and this will take us to the second and final activity of the week. So one more time, and this is why I emphasize read the book. Read the book because it's going to be always in the assignments, and if you start getting behind, it's going to be very tricky to be able to advance. So read the book, and what you're going to do is to try to find all these different things that we're talking about today, metaphorical or musical effects in your book. So if there are comparisons, if there are some sort of musical effects, thanks to rhythms, cadences, rhymes, alliterations, well, all these different things, yes? If you can find them, you're going to extract them from the book, and you're going to put them as an example in your assignment, and you're going to briefly explain. One more time, don't take too long. 2 or 3 sentences will be more than enough for me to understand it, and that will be it. Okay. Now, all your books have metaphorical or musical effects. Yes, all of them. Maybe some of them are much more, let's say, easy to get. Some other ones may have more scarce ones, but that is what we're going to do. So please, you are going to extract 3 of them. I'm asking only 3, no more. If you want to write more, well, great. But otherwise, just write 3 of them. Can be all of them metaphorical, 1 metaphorical, 2 musical, 2 metaphoricals, 1 musical. That will be fine, okay? And basically, you're going to do this really short, not really long, and that will be it. You can also work in groups of 4 people. That will be okay. And the same thing. If the 4 people have different books, you can just select one, and you can write this description of the metaphorical or musical effects, or advertisement, or any of the things that we're talking here, like jokes. All of them can be included, the ones that are over here in this video. Okay. So remember, groups of 4 people maximum, 3 people, 2 people, individually as you prefer. But the idea is that you are able to extract and explain these different metaphorical and musical effects that you find in your books. Okay, just the heading or the example, you take it literally. Write, of course, the name of the book in the title, your names, and that would be it. Okay, so hopefully everything was clear. Best of lucks for this week, guys. I'm doing this book, these videos, still being on this permanent assembly. Hopefully we go back to class soon enough to avoid any delays and accumulation of work. But well, I respect your decisions, and we won't work until there's like an official assembly suspension, or a different way that allows us to go into class. Well, anyway, so as I mentioned, best of luck, guys. Take care of yourselves. I send you my best energies on these difficult times, but well, this is my way of sort of resisting and contributing a little bit. I don't know how useful it is. If I can at least touch one of you with what I say, I will be satisfied. Okay, so thank you very much. Best of luck, guys. See you then on the next week, hopefully. Bye bye and hugs.